15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. Please hit the subscribe button, please hit the like button, and please share this video with your friends, family, neighbors, and other people that you like, and even some people that you don't. All right, I want to keep talking about anti-Semitism, being anti-Semitic, or as it's been defined in the popular culture by Jewish people, not by other people, but by Jewish people, as hatred towards Jews. Anything negative, anything you say negative about Jewish people will come up as anti-Semitic. So I kind of want to talk about that some more, and in the wake of what happened to Nick Cannon, and also with some things that have been going on with Ice Cube, and also with basketball legend Kareem Abdul Jabbar. We want to first of all understand that we don't hate anybody. We don't hate Jewish people, or at least the people that I know that kind of follow the ideology that I follow. And my ideology is the fact that I believe in universal law, that I don't believe in religion, and because religion is divisive. Religion divides people. It doesn't bring people together at all. So that's why a lot of times I really don't go along with religion. I don't care what religion it is, because it's divisive. Now, one of the things that was said by Nick Cannon, and one of the things that they used in order to try to fire him, or to fire him, was the fact that he talked about that black people were the original Hebrews, which is also a misnomer, which is wrong, which is incorrect, and all of that. Because, and then it goes to that whole Hebrew Israelite thing, and there is no actual or factual proof. It appears to me, through my research, through what I've done, through what I've studied, that Hebrews basically came to us from Ethiopia. So the people that they're calling Hebrews were Ethiopians that migrated to Northern Africa. And make no mistake, Israel is Northern Africa. All right, the where Israel and Palestine and all of that is located is in Northern Africa. It is not something called the Middle East. Once again, it is propaganda. It's something that has been perpetuated. It's a paradigm that has been created throughout time. Of course, we know that before the 1940s, there was no such thing as Israel. All right, and we also know that Israel is a name for Kemetic spirituality, meaning, is Isis, Ra, El being God, etc., etc. Okay, so, but I don't want to make it about that. What I want to make it about is the fact that all of these paradigms, all of these constructs have been created over time. All right, and they have been created in order to destroy the legacy of Africans, or and even that Alkebulans. People from Alkebulon have been, discredited with everything. And even now, even the building of the pyramids now, what is being discredited, how it's being discredited by saying that somehow aliens built the pyramids or built all the temples in Kemet. So the names of everything have been changed in order to protect the people that really did that really didn't do anything, put it that way. And so the problem is now is that when you point out the truth, or when you point out the truth, as Nick Cannon did, even when you point out the truth, is probably not even the truth, but it's against the paradigm or the construct that has been created. All of a sudden, now you are anti-Semitic, and that's not true. And I believe that it was Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat who coined the phrase that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. All right, so and we see what's going on now, even with Netanyahu in Israel. What's going on? I mean, they're the worst terrorists in the world right now. They're terrorizing the people that live in that Palestinian territory. which they claim is theirs. But how can it be theirs? There were look, these people are Europeans. They're Caucasians. The Yiddish language, the so-called Hebrew language or whatever, it's a Caucasian. It came from the Caucasus Mountains. And you can trace it back. You can go and you can trace the rudiments of their language and everything, and you can trace it back to Caucasians. And there were no, sorry, it is just like people, even if you say what you want to say, the bottom line is there's no way that even the construct of Jesus, which is also another, which is a ripoff of Kemetic spirituality. Heru, it's the ripoff of Heru and the seventh chakra. Okay, so it's stolen and it's plagiarized. And it has been transformed. The story has been transformed. All right, over time, and now it has been the story. The lie has been told so many times that now people, even Nick Cannon, believes that that there's truth in this story, and there is some truth in it, but it is not the truth that they have put out there. All right, so the other problem is the three Judeo-Christian religions are all the same. They're the root of all three Judeo-Christian religions is the same, but they're religions. They're not spirituality, and so that is the root. The root of the problem is the fact that people are believing this stuff when there is. The truth has been hidden and has been, wrapped up in books and, including the Bible, the Quran, all the books that are over there. So now we get to the point now, if somebody discovers the truth, they're anti-Semitic. Or if somebody realizes that all of this religion, all of these books, all of this stuff that's been the historical records that have been changed over time, and you realize it, and you come to the manifest knowledge of the truth, and you espouse that truth, then all of a sudden you're evil and you're anti-Semitic. No, it's not being anti-Semitic. What it is just saying, look, I know that my people, all right, my people built one of the greatest civilizations, if not the greatest civilization in the history of the world. Even down to things like Manu Musa, who was the richest man ever in the history of the world. He was a black man, but that knowledge is hidden. And what do we have now? And most of the people that have all the money in the world now, they just so happen that they are part of the Jewish religion. And they're not a race of people. That's the other thing that one of the other big lies that's told, which I tried to just hint at in my last post. It was just the fact that, look, they're not a race of people. And when I did the teaching about race and what our forefathers said, and even those documents and those papyrus and everything, people tried to destroy them. The thing was that they put them in so many places, and they were placed in so many temples and in so many papyrus and in so many hieroglyphs that they were unable to completely destroy the history that our ancestors tried to lay out. And if you go back, it's still there. So the real thing was when they started talking about the human race. That's where all of this stuff stems from. Okay, and so when you always, people always ask you, well, why are white people so upset at us, and why do white people hate us so much for no reason? And that's why. It's not for no reason. It's because their history. If their history was truly taught, and if their history was truly espoused throughout the world, then their history is pretty much a negative history. And our history is pretty much a positive history. That's how come they only want us to remember slavery. That's why Jewish people make movies about what? Slavery. Roots. All of those movies. Look, all of the movies that they make about slavery. And even the Wild Wild West, the Westerns, all of these genres of film and everything, they're all created to espouse a different history that is not true. Just like when you find out that most of the so-called cowboys were black, and most of the legends that they made into white people on the silver screen were actually black people. They weren't white people. But that's not saying anything. But what we're saying is look, you have taken our history and have tried to bury it and make us think that nothing existed before slavery. Before we got on those slave ships and came here, you try to make it seem like we didn't do nothing. And then after slavery ended, because you couldn't get free labor out of us, you make it seem like what? Like we're lazy and shiftless. And then when you go down, like I said, go and Google black inventions. And when you go and you look and you see all the lazy people don't come up with that many inventions, including the automobile, the things that are most used right now were all created by black people. And then after we created it, y'all stole it, put your name on it, and then acted like we didn't exist. And acted, and kept the money from it. And that's the real truth. And it's not saying we hate you. We don't hate you, but we're just saying, look, give us credit where credit is due. It ain't got nothing to do. And even when we try, look, even the whole thing about you didn't even allow us to be separate but equal. We integrated, y'all stole all the money. When we integrated, what did y'all do? Y'all destroyed all of our infrastructure. Y'all destroyed our banks, our insurance companies, we had all of that. Our accounting systems, everything. We had all of that. We don't need white people to exist, but we're loving, caring, forgiving people. That's our nature. So people ask, well, why are we always so caring and forgiving? Because it's our nature. It's our netter. It's in our nature. It's not that we're any different from anybody else. But the main thing is most of the evil and most of the bad things that we've learned it from. You can't name me. You can't name me like I was talking about the hundreds. You name me 100 atrocities that have been committed by Alkebulans or the descendants of Alkebulans or any other indigenous people. Name me all the atrocities that any indigenous person to the sun, to the earth, the children of the sun. Name me those things, and I'll shut up. I won't never say another word again. But you can't. You can't. And that truth right there is worthy of whatever. Think about it. And we're not, we don't hate anybody. In fact, we civilize Caucasians. We civilized the Caucasians. We taught them bathing and how to properly cook food and all of those type of things. And even when people got to the Americas, it was the natives that were already here that taught them how to farm the land and taught them how to till the land and do everything and how to, and then they just went crazy because the natives were respectful of the Most High. They were respectful of the gods, to put it in a bad way. But they were respectful of nature. They didn't waste. They didn't pollute. They didn't do all of those things that are being done now in the name of progress and in the name of money. They didn't do that stuff. But now all of a sudden, but if you mention that, all of a sudden you're anti-Semitic, you're I'm sorry, but it has been people who consider themselves to be Jewish that have done that. I mean, if you go back and you research it, just do the research, and it's there. But they don't want you to know that happened. That's why, so that they can be seen in a better light. Anyway, that's the fastest 15 minutes. Think about it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I love you all. God bless you. Your God bless you, my God.